And we are back, and we just finished watching 2018's Banana Split. This is rated R with a runtime of 1 hour and 28 minutes. This comes to us from director Benjamin Kasulke. I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly, with writing credits to Hannah Marks and Joey Power. This also stars Hannah Marks as one of the main characters in this film, April, Liana Liberto as Clara, Dylan Sprouse as Nick, and Luke Spencer Roberts as Ben. According to IMDb, over the course of a summer, two teenage girls developed the perfect kindred spirit friendship with one big problem. One of them is dating the other's ex. We saw this on Prime Video, but it's also streaming on Roku Channel and Tubi, and to buy rent on Prime Video. This was Olive G's selection. Good choice. You had seen this before, correct?
Yeah, I saw it like after COVID, kind of.
Okay. And you liked it.
Yeah.
And you wanted to talk about it. I asked you to find, I guess, like a teen movie or something. This one definitely fits the bill. And I enjoyed it. I thought, well, I'll wait to give my thoughts. But I want to start with you, though. What about the film made you want to watch it?
I think I was like sick that day or something like that. So I was on my school computer and I searched up free movies and I found this one and I decided to watch it. And I ended up watching it. I was like, oh my God, this movie is actually like super cool.
Yeah, it was really good. It was interesting because it tells a story that has probably been told before, but it tells it in a very interesting way. And it's kind of a happy ending, but it's not the ending that I think you think is going to happen, because I feel like in a lot of these movies, I guess it's like a romantic comedy or a teen comedy, a coming of age story. So these are kids that are currently in high school. They're graduating. They're going to college. And in the beginning, we find out that April is dating Nick, and they've been together for 2 years. And then after a while, they seem to have less and less in common. And there's a sequence in the film where you see them arguing and then finally breaking up. And then we come to find out that Nick has moved on with this other girl, Clara. And this is where the trouble starts, because April is still hung up on Nick. And she decides that she wants to know who this Clara is and what she's all about. And then they meet, but then they form like this kind of interesting and strange relationship, because
Friendship.
well, it is a friendship, but it came about in a very bizarre way because April wanted to know about Clara, who is now dating her ex-boyfriend. What did you think of April?
She wasn't a bad character, but she wasn't like a good one either. Like, sure, she was a jerk at some points of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you have to admit that what happened close to the endish was definitely her fault.
I agree. I think she was definitely layered. She was human. She had her faults. But I felt like as much as she thought that she loved Nick, and she was with him for 2 years, and when you're with somebody in a relationship, your feelings just don't turn off. You have to, I guess, go through this process to grieve the relationship, to move on. However, it always felt like, I don't know if she had more in common with Clara. It was kind of an interesting pairing because, again, Clara is now dating her ex-boyfriend. So for the two of them to kind of forge this relationship, this friendship, is kind of odd, because you wouldn't normally think to befriend your ex-boyfriend's new girl. So that was kind of interesting. And I liked the way that the film portrayed this story. And I think in one of the things that I read, it's almost semi-autobiographical, where the young woman who plays April, this actually happened to her. So again, this is probably a story that you've seen before, but it's told in a very unique way, in that nobody ends up with the guy, but they come away with like this friendship. What did you think of the Clara character?
She was okay. I don't really feel like most of the stuff that happened like was her fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like she didn't like really know about April at first, but like she did digging though. So like she found out about her eventually.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that that would be normal for them to have this friendship?
Not really, but they like clicked over like a bunch of alcohol at a party
Mm-hmm.
after like drinking a bunch of alcohol.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they do silly things. They hang out together. They make a pact to never talk about him with each other. His friend Ben knows about this, but is sworn to secrecy and doesn't like it because he even says, like, this is going to come out and I know I'm going to get screwed for it. And kind of to his point, it sort of all blows up in everybody's face later on. So he's sort of like this voice of reason in this tsunami of crazy that's happening. But at the same time, I could see where you could interpret it as a romantic relationship, but it's not, because I think at the end, Clara even says, I love you, but I'm not sleeping with you. So they love each other as people. They love each other as this friendship that found each other through this common denominator, which was Nick. And they nurtured this relationship. And it looks like they're going to be in each other's lives going forward. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, again, you don't really think of the ex-girlfriend being friends with the new girlfriend. So that was like an interesting take on this. I also found it interesting because they're in high school. There's this countdown towards their going to college. And at the end, Nick is packing up his room or whatever. And you see April packing up her room so that she can go to university as well. So they're now forging ahead into their adult life. I think that's very symbolic as well. Did you have any thoughts about the Ben character?
Not really. He was kind of annoying. Like, he was like 6 feet up Nate's butthole. And he's like a big meat rider. And that's all I can really say about Ben. Because he's honestly annoying.
Okay. Did you have any thoughts about Nick?
Not really. I didn't like him like whatsoever.
No?
Yeah, no.
Did you not like him because you thought he was a certain way, or?
I didn't like him because he was the obstacle in between April and Clara's relationship, and I didn't like that.
Fair, but
I don't mean like relationship like lovers, like the relationship in general. He was the problem.
Understood, but I think at the same time, he was going to find out about the two of them spending all this time together. They even went away on a trip. They're staying at a hotel. So, like, all of this has got to come up to the front, right? And
yeah, but still, if they didn't exist and they just met at a party and hit it off, then they would have been great friends and none of this would have ever happened. This is all Nate's fault. I hate Nate. I hate his ugly face. I wish he died in a fire. I wish nothing but bad upon his bloodline. I hate Nate. I hate his hair. Well, I hate men with long hair, but I just hate Nate. I hate his stupid long hair. I hate his stupid face. I hate his stupid car. I hate his driver's license. I hate everything.
Again, his name is Nick, not Nate.
Let me have this.
Okay, you could call him Nate if you want. I didn't rage hate Nick as much as you did. I understand where you're coming from. There's nothing special about him. I don't understand why these women were falling all over themselves. It was also very bizarre, that sequence towards the end where April goes to that party knowing that Clara's going to be there with Nick. And so originally she says that she's jealous, but then she comes to realize that she's jealous because Clara is there with Nick, not because Nick is there with Clara. So
no, she said at the end she wasn't jealous because Clara was with Nick. She was jealous because Nick was with Clara.
That's what I said.
No, like they were together, not that they were at the party.
Yes. She wanted to be at the party with Clara.
No, that Clara and Nick were together. She was jealous that Nick was with Clara, that they were like dating and stuff like that. She didn't want Nick to be with Clara, like romantically.
Got it. Okay. Well, still, I mean, she may have felt that way, but I don't think that Clara looked at her in that way. She just saw her as a friend, as a really good friend, like almost even a best friend. I don't think that she had any kind of romantic designs on April. I'm not sure how April felt about it, but again, at the end, Clara says, I love you, but we're not sleeping together.
Who cares about that?
I'm just saying.
That doesn't matter. That is irrelevant. Who cares if they're in a romantic relationship or not? It doesn't matter. April was jealous because Nick was with Clara, okay? She didn't like that. Nick was the obstacle. This is all Nick's fault. I hate Nick. I hate Ben. I hate everyone.
Why do you hate Ben? He didn't do anything.
Because Ben ruins everything.
How did Ben ruin it?
By just existing.
That poor guy took a punch to the face for no reason.
Yeah, well, he deserves it because I don't like Ben whatsoever.
Poor Ben. Poor Ben.
Don't poor Ben. I don't like Ben. I don't like Nick. And they were the problem. If they didn't exist, April and Clara would have been best friends.
Possibly. April also seems to outgrow her other two friends. The two friends that were, I guess, going to school in Miami, Molly and Sally.
Yeah, no one cares about those two.
I mean, they used to be friends with April, but then all of a sudden they weren't. I mean, not
Who cares
that they
about
weren't,
them?
but
They're like stoners or whatever.
they sort of drifted apart.
Nobody cares about those guys. They're side characters that are not worth mentioning whatsoever.
All right. What do we think about Agnes, her little sister with the potty mouth?
Agnes was annoying as hell. I hate Agnes. Agnes is annoying. Agnes should go kill herself.
I don't know about all that.
Agnes was so annoying. Yo, she ruined the dinner. When Clara came over, she ruined it. She's so goddamn annoying.
All right.
If I was ever like that to Grace, you have like the right to like punch me in the face. Like I would shoot myself in the head if I was ever like that with my sister. That is disrespectful.
She was
That is
extra.
awful. You are a horrible human being if you act like this. You should go get hit by a car and I don't like you.
She was definitely extra. And the way she kept going on about, in the beginning to April, about how she wanted to marry her boyfriend.
Yeah, well, she's stupid and she should keep that to herself.
Yes, I agree. Before we wrap it up, any other final thoughts, my dear?
I'm happy with the way this movie ended because Clara and April got to stick together.
Yes. Their friendship endures in spite of everything else. If you're going to give this a number between 1 and 10, what would you give it?
Probably an 8.
An 8?
Or like a 7.5.
I was going to say like a 6.5, 7. I mean, I think it's an interesting take on a story. It wasn't boring. The performances were good, especially the two women, the April and Clara characters. I liked their chemistry. I liked their shenanigans. I thought the writing was good, and I thought it was absolutely within the realm of reality. Although the sister Agnes had some crazy lines.
Yeah, no, I hated Agnes. Agnes needs to go kill herself.
And Susan was like, she needed to sharpen up her parenting skills. It seemed like those kids really ran her ragged.
I mean, at the end, she kind of like locked in a little bit.
She did kind of lock in a little bit, which was nice to see. But she needed to have that energy throughout. Like these are like teenage girls. You need to
lock in.
You need to lock in. Absolutely. The Nick character didn't bother me. He seemed very.
He bothered me. I don't like Nick. I hate Nick.
Okay. He seemed very one-dimensional. There wasn't any depth to him. It was kind of whatever. I couldn't understand what April saw in him in the beginning when they first started dating, because I felt like she was kind of an interesting character. So I felt like she was dating down as opposed to punching up, but whatever. The heart wants what the heart wants. And then when they hit their rough patch in their relationship, just the kind of the road that takes until then April finds out about Clara. So I feel like this is a story that's been told before, however, in a very unique, interesting way, because you don't expect these two characters to ultimately become the best of friends. And then that's exactly what happens here. All right, so
I'll change my number and I give this a 7.5 because I don't feel like it's worth the 8, but it's definitely more than a 7.
It's more than a 7, but less than an 8. Okay, 7.5. All right. So if you're gonna give it a 7.5, then I will give it maybe a 6.5. I thought it was interesting and well done, but I feel like it could have been more dynamic, and it wasn't. It's still a decent story, and it's not a long film. It's only an hour and 28 minutes, so it's a fun, easy watch. And if you're looking for kind of a teen comedy, romance, drama sort of situation, then I absolutely recommend Banana Split from 2018. Again, rated R for language, some sexual situations, and we caught it on Prime Video, but it's also on Roku channel and Tubi, and also to buy rent on Prime Video. Yeah, the decent teen comedy, I would say. So you can
6.5, 7.
6.5, 7. So yeah, definitely. If you want, definitely check it out. And again, remember to like, follow, and subscribe. And we will see you here again. And with that, we will bid you all a
Good night.
good night.